The Apostle of Chablais, Zeal and Faith in Action. Today, I invite you to journey with me into the heart of one of the most powerful missionary stories in church history, the mission of St. Francis de Sales in the Chablais region. Known as the Apostle of Chablais, he offers us a timeless example of zeal, wisdom, and love in action. The first point for our reflection today is a saint prepared by God. Let's begin with a glimpse into his early life. Francis was born in 1567 to a noble family in Savoy. Though trained in law and destined for political service, Francis heard another voice, the voice of God. He chose the priesthood against his father's wishes, embracing a path of service and sacrifice. He was ordained in 1593. And from the very start, his sermons, full of fire, clarity, and compassion, touched hearts and opened minds. The second point for our reflection today is the crisis in Chablais. Now imagine the Chablais region in the late 1500s. It had fallen into deep religious divisions. Calvinism had spread rapidly. Catholicism was suppressed. Churches were closed. Faithful Catholics were few and frightened. The Duke of Savoy, a committed Catholic, longed to bring the faith back. So he appealed to the Bishop of Geneva for missionaries. But most priests hesitated. The region was hostile. Preaching there meant risking one's life. Thirdly, mission accepted, fearless and faithful. One young priest stood up. Francis de Sales responded, "My Lord, if you think I am capable, command me. I am ready." He went not with an army or authority, but with the word of God, a heart full of faith, and a love that would not give up. His only protection, trust in God. The fourth point for our reflection today is facing hostility with hope. The beginning was painful. Doors were shut in his face. He was insulted, rejected, even threatened. At times, he had nowhere to sleep. But Francis didn't stop. He tried new methods. He wrote short leaflets, clear, simple explanations of Catholic teachings, and secretly slid them under doors. He preached with gentleness and clarity, winning our hearts, not through force, but through truth and love. He visited families one by one, offering kindness instead of condemnation. And when needed, he debated Calvinist ministers, firm in truth but always respectful. The fifth point for our reflection today is the fruits of perseverance. After 4 long years, something beautiful happened. One by one, people returned to the faith. Then dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. By the end of his mission, the Catholic Church was re-established in the region. Churches were reopened, a Jesuit college was founded, Catholic life began to flourish again. Only a small number remained Protestant. And for this heroic achievement, Francis was rightly honored as the Apostle of Chablais. The sixth point for our reflection today is what made him so effective? Let's pause and reflect. What made Francis de Sales so effective? First of all, zeal for souls. He had a burning desire to bring people back to God. This wasn't about numbers, it was about love. Every soul mattered. Secondly, deep faith. He trusted God completely, even in failure and fear. He believed God would provide the grace, and he did. Thirdly, gentleness. Francis believed in persuasion, not pressure. He lived by his famous principle, do everything through love, nothing through force. Fourthly, courage. He endured hunger, rejection, danger, even death threats, but he kept going. Fifthly, creativity. When the pulpit was close to him, he turned to the pen. He changed his approach without changing his message. The seventh point for reflection today is, what can we learn today? Francis de Sales' mission is not just a story of the past, it is a message for us today. First of all, speak the truth in love. In a world of division and debate, we need voices like his, firm in faith but full of compassion. Secondly, personal holiness first. Francis didn't just preach the gospel, he lived it. People saw Christ in him. If we want to evangelize, we must begin with ourselves. Thirdly, be missionaries today. You don't need to go to another country. Your family, your workplace, your neighborhood, they are your mission field. Be like St. Francis, gentle, patient, courageous, faithful. To conclude, our turn is now. Dear friends, the Chablais mission was not won overnight. It took courage, creativity, faith, and above all, love. Francis de Sales teaches us that great change begins with simple acts: speaking kindly, loving deeply, serving silently, and praying always. So, let us go forward, inspired by his example. Let us be apostles in our own Chablais, wherever God sends us. Let us be people of zeal, faith, and love in action. Live Jesus.